stupid.
Agreed. It's really dumb, Matty.
Yeah.
Been a crazy week in America.
Yeah, it has been.
Been a crazy week. I think we could say that almost every week, but you called me this week and you said, Ruther, are we going to talk about the Florida school shooting?
Yeah, I was going to write a piece about it, but then I figured we should just talk about it. I was going to write a piece about how in every high school, there's always that one weird kid that everybody's like, he's going to shoot the school up, you know? And then it's like, my thing is like, well, because the kids, like, even they talked about it, they joke like, this kid's going to do it. Like, how do we monitor that one awkward kid? Because in my high school, there was a guy named Art, and he just, like, showed up one day, and he was weird as fuck, and there was rumors that, like, he killed, like, stray animals in the woods, and people were, like, accusing him of that, and then he would, like, deny it, and he was just weird. He didn't fit in. Everybody's like, he's going to come and shoot us. Like, be nice to him. He's going to come back and, like, kill us all. And, like, I don't know what the fuck happened to him. And I'm sure every high school has somebody like that. And it's like, well, how do you monitor that? Because one of those kids is going to do it, man.
But you just saying that shows the problem that our country has. Think about that.
Yeah.
You saying every school in America has 1 to 2 kids who you say, oh, this kid might shoot up a school.
Yes.
To me, that is a microcosm of this massive problem we have in our country.
Yeah. I just, like, figure, like...
Because it involves so many issues. It involves mental health. It involves access to guns. It involves violence. There's so many issues. And at first, I'll be honest, I felt, I don't know if I want to talk about this.
Yeah.
What more can be said? But, yeah, I think... Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. First of all, I'll go on record saying I don't have a solution. Unlike every douchebag on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram who knows a solution, this is a complex issue that has been going on and building up, quote unquote, for hundreds of years.
One guy wrote on Twitter, I don't know who it was, but he wrote it. It was pretty funny. He's like, someday a comedian is going to come up with a solution on Twitter on how to solve, like, a major problem like this. Like, just like you guys are never going to solve this. Like, just stop with your opinion. You know, like, that you're so adamant you have the fucking answer to this, and it's so easy, and if people disagree with you, then they're fucking morons.
Yeah, and I think we all have ideas. We all have suggestions. But like I just said, this is complex.
Very complex.
And anyone who doesn't think that is just being ignorant. There are so many facets to this issue in our country. And I'd like to play a couple hypotheticals.
Yeah.
Let's play a couple hypotheticals real quickly.
Sure.
For everybody listening and everybody who has a strong opinion. Again, we all have strong opinions, but I think we all need to take a step back. And in a way, I'm glad that we're not doing this right after the shooting.
Yeah, we also have to mourn the victims. I think people totally forget about the victims after something like this happens. Like, we don't focus on their stories and stuff like that. We go right to, like, this anger and blame. It's like...
Well, that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
To be honest, before we jump into it, it is a proven fact. Psychologists have proven this. By giving glory to this sick fuck, that's what he is.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say his name. By giving attention and the whole background story on this kid, you create more shooters. That is a known fact.
I agree 150 million %.
That is a known fact. They're going to dissect this kid's whole life, what he did on social media. You literally create more shooters. That is a known fact. This is not me just giving my opinion. Every psychologist, every doctor will confirm that. That is a known fact. So when you do that, you give him attention. Instead of like what Matty just said, there's an awful school shooting. Why can't we talk about, and they did for sure, but why can't we give more attention to the victims and these innocent people who lost their lives?
Sure. I mean, one of the things too is like, we all, Instagram, whatever, is all about getting attention. So like, you just gave this guy who has no aim to be anything positive in life, but obviously wants to show like who he is and what he's about, and we just gave it to him. We showed his Instagram pictures, the videos of his guns, the threatening stuff, everything, And this is his glory. Like, this is the best he'll amount to be in his sick, demented head of life. Like, this is his glory. And I know, like, the news has, like, some sort of responsibility, but, like...
But they don't. That's where I'll disagree.
Yeah.
They don't have the responsibility to say his name. That's where they're just money-hungry, sick fucks, and they don't care. They don't care.
And that's the sad thing, because if we all agree, if every news network goes, next time something like this happens...
We're not going to say the name of the shooter.
One fucking place will do it, and they'll break it, and that'll be fucked up.
I agree. And
they shouldn't, because for the better, like you said, the better of our society, we can't give these guys their one moment of fucking glory.
Now, this is just a minor problem with the school shootings, but I just want to mention that. I'm glad that we did.
Yeah.
There's a lot bigger issues that involve these school shootings.
Yeah.
But that's still part of it. It is. It's no different than LeVar Ball or Donald Trump. Guys, it's the same scale. You keep giving Donald Trump attention, he becomes president. You keep giving LeVar Ball attention, he's created this business. You keep giving Kim Kardashian attention for a sex tape. She now is a business mogul with all these different things she has her hands in. It's the same thing. You give these guys attention, and
this is what you gave him.
This.
You also gave him exactly what he wanted. He wanted this. Like, he wanted to, like, do this. He wanted his, like, whole story to come out. He wanted his face as a school shooter, and you gave it to him.
But I'm not saying we ignore this. Guys, those are two different things. I just want that to be on record. I'm not saying we ignore the shootings. We don't talk about it in the news, because that's not helpful either. I'm just saying we can ignore the individual who did it. And we can.
Sure.
And if we really try, we can. But here's what I want to say.
Yep.
It's a complex issue. I don't have the answers. Matty doesn't have the answers. We've talked about this. And I think it's okay to say that, because I want to play a quick hypothetical.
Yeah.
Let's play a quick hypothetical,
sure.
Matty.
Yeah.
We're recording this. It's February 19th.
Yeah.
If I said to you, Matty Goldberg, starting tomorrow in the United States of America, guns will be illegal.
Yeah.
Starting February 20th.
All guns
will be illegal.
Yeah.
Starting February 20th in America, all guns will be illegal.
Yeah.
Suddenly we have 350 million illegal guns out there in the black market. Mm-hmm. And guys, these are facts. Again, I'm coming at you with facts today. There is more guns in America, which again is part of the problem. I agree. I think we need to find some sort of middle ground in all these issues.
Yeah.
There are more guns in the United States of America than there are people. That is a problem. We do not need that many guns. However, if we said right now, like I'm saying, all guns are illegal tomorrow, you suddenly have 350 million guns floating across this country. What are we going to do about that?
Shit, I don't know. I mean, it'd be a mess. I think the AR-15 has to be banned, but, like, it would be, people would still have guns. Shit like this would still happen if they were illegal. I mean, people would be just getting them. And, like, it's like drugs. It's like heroin is illegal, but people still do heroin.
Sure.
So there'll be still, like, problems. I don't know. I'm all for, like, really, really long background checks, like extreme background checks. But again, like, this kid can get a gun on the black market. Like, it's not like he needs to go to a gun store and just buy a gun.
But that's my point, is that the background checks just aren't working. A lot of this stuff just isn't working. And again, I don't have all the answers, guys. I'm presenting to everyone listening different scenarios so we can think this through.
Sure.
It's not just, hot take this, hot take that. It's these are actual scenarios that I'm trying to play out. Now, I know Australia did the whole thing where you sell back the guns, the government would give you money. I like that idea. So let's say they make a certain amount of guns illegals or semi-automatic weapons.
I think for most people, they like their guns more than money. I mean, guns are, to a lot of people, are like life and breathing and water. It's like, what do you think your gun is like? It's not a want, it's a need.
But that's my point. That's a systematic problem in America, and that's what I'm trying to say. The Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, has been around for hundreds of years, and that's why I'm telling people this isn't a quick, easy solution. However, we also have a massive problem that we continue to ignore. and we cannot ignore. So I'm not saying ignore this problem. We have a massive problem that needs to be addressed, that needs to at least somewhat be remedied, but also just to say, oh, we're just going to ban guns or we're just going to do this. It's not that easy.
I mean, like, when you take a look at the kid, that crazy kid in Santa Barbara a few years ago, like, I read his crazy manifesto, and he was talking about how, like, he just walked in a gun store and bought, like, guns.
Yeah.
And it was just, like, it was so easy. And I'm like, this is a kid, like, if he walks in a gun store, it's like, okay, it's going to be a year to 2 background check. And all you got to do is watch his videos on YouTube, and then he was a psycho as a motherfucker, and be like, okay, we did some background, like, no way this motherfucker deserves a gun.
But how is that going to be monitored, too? That's the question.
Well, it's like, for instance,
They're monitoring this kid's YouTube and Facebook?
Well, like, this kid, he's in high school. He goes to buy a gun. It's like, okay, we're going to do a 2-year background check. All you got to do is talk to a therapist or the school guidance counselor, and he'd probably be like, no, you can't give this kid a gun.
I just don't know exactly what to do. But in a way, I feel like it's so complex. There's so many different factors. This is going to take years, but ignoring it is not helping. That's my point. We have to address this. And on the other side of it, as far as controlling the guns, 95, probably more than that, 98, 99% of the people who own guns aren't psychopaths. So you have the people who are big gun people, who are hunters, who just like to own guns. They have it for protection.
Yeah.
Aren't serial killers.
No.
Aren't mass shooters.
Like, I saw Carson Wentz on Instagram, like, before this happened. He's like he's with his wife or his girlfriend. They're hunting a deer and they have guns, and it's like a weird romantic picture. But I mean, I don't see him doing anything bad. It's just like, okay, I like to hunt for sport, which I have no problem with, or food. And most of the people that have guns, they're just
they're
psychos.
Law-abiding citizens.
Yeah, the psychos that get their hands on it is the fucked up thing. But it's like, even though they're law-abiding citizens, like, now you got to wait to get your gun because these fucking psychos fucked it up for you.
And comparing us to other countries is just stupid and ignorant. It just is. It just is because of the history, and that's my point.
Yeah.
We can change our history. Now, I agree with that. I want to do some things to change. I hope things happen to change so this does not happen. Nobody wants to see this happen. But to be like, oh, well, there's no shootings in France or Germany. Comparing us to them is just stupid. Learn your history. Again, the right to bear arms has been a part of our Constitution since day one. So even if we made it illegal, that's why I'm playing this scenario out. Even if we made it illegal tomorrow, guns are illegal. If we made that happen, it doesn't simply eradicate the problem we have. That's what I'm trying to get across to people.
I mean, this kid will have a gun. If guns were illegal, he'd probably have a gun anyway.
Yeah, these easy, quick fix. But to me, there's a couple solutions that would fix things sooner.
Yeah.
One is lobbyists. All these people who want to put this on Republicans are just ignorant. The gun lobbyists own every single person in Congress.
Democrat, Republican.
It doesn't matter if that D is next to their name or if that R is next to their name. Do your research, guys. They all take money from these people, and none of them do a damn thing. And to me, that's the bigger problem.
So you're saying there's 350 million guns out there.
That is a fact.
So it's a $1 billion industry.
Multi.
I mean, it's more than sport. It's probably more than sports.
Of course.
I mean, it's like, how do you? I mean, remember, like, cigarettes have pretty much been kind of pushed away, and that was like a giant American industry. I mean, it's hard. It's really hard.
The problem is these people in Congress are owned by these lobbyists. It's like repeating the same shit over and over again. And I don't know if this bores you guys, but it's the truth. Watch any documentary on this. Read up on this. Every single one of these people, whether it's Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama or George Bush or John McCain or John Boehner or Nancy Pelosi, they're all owned. They're all corporate bitches. They are. They're owned. And I'm just stating the facts. They're owned by these lobbyists that they have to cater to who help them win. It's no different than I might have to watch certain things that I say during an ad read because that company's paying for me.
Sure.
I get it, guys.
Yeah.
I'm just stating the facts. Look, it is what it is, but until that changes, until these people aren't getting elected by lobbyists, nothing's going to change. Literally, I don't want to sound, Matty, I don't want to sound pessimistic or, like a nihilist. Nihilist, how's it pronounced? Nihilist?
Yeah.
Nihilist. That's a Rutherism. I don't want to sound like a nihilist, but dude, they're doing a march, which I think is great. The students are organizing a march from the school, and it's going to be called March for Our Lives. They're going to do a march on March 24th.
Yeah.
I don't want to be morbid, guys, but what is this march going to solve? I'm being serious.
Well, they've also said like if every kid and teacher just doesn't go to school until they fix it, it might get fixed.
Now, that's something I agree with.
Yeah. So
now, see, there's something I can get on board. If every student and teacher says, we're not going to school until we reform some of these laws,
sure,
I can get on board with that.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, like I said, a march one day doesn't do shit. It just doesn't. Now, or a walkout for 12 hours or a walkout for 2 hours one day is not going to do much. But if this is my same thing with the NFL.
Yeah.
For people who want to see change.
Yep.
I always said, then just everybody boycott. And then the response always is, oh, Ruther, not everybody's going to boycott. Well, then you're not going to get real change. If we want to see change, every teacher, every student should just not show up to school for a week. See what happens.
I'd say until they fix it. But then you got to figure out like what exactly are they fixing? Like what will make everybody happy is the other thing. And it's like,
but that's the problem. You're right.
We don't really know. Like, is it just to ban like the AR-15? Is it to have? I don't really know. It's such a complex issue because there's so much involved. There's gun control. There's mental illness. There's like monitoring kids that like, anybody can like, you can say like, oh my God, that guy's a potential school shooter, and he's not. But then if they treat him like that, is that not fair? It's like there's so much shit that is so complex, and I think sadly we're in a society where it's like enjoy your lives and just don't be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
And that sucks.
And
by the way,
it's sad.
That sucks.
It's sad, but that's like what we've come to, unfortunately. Because
but I think we can change that. But I hate that. I agree with you. I shouldn't have the feeling, and I do.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have the feeling when I'm in Trader Joe's thinking, oh my God, if someone pulls out an AR-15, we're all dead.
Yeah.
And sadly, those thoughts go through my head.
Absolutely.
I used to never think about that shit.
Yeah.
Now when I'm in a crowded place, I think that.
Yeah.
I thought the same way. We went to the Snoop Dogg 2 Chainz basketball event the other day.
Yeah.
I saw security. Security wasn't the best. I'm just saying somebody could smuggle
anywhere,
in.
anytime.
At anywhere, anytime. And I shouldn't have to think about this. I shouldn't. You shouldn't. And a woman should not be scared to send her son or daughter to school. This is a problem, and I agree. It needs to be changed. But again, it's fucking complicated, guys. There's not one magic wand we're going to wave and everything's fixed. This is 250 years of just lawlessness with guns in our country.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotten more out of control, and a lot of it, a lot of it is the fame. I mean, a big portion of it is the fame. It's like we're all, sadly, our brains are like, we're searching for attention and to get out there and get our like story out there. And like for a lot of these guys, it's like the glory of being that school shooter. Like this guy and his demented, fucked up head was like being a school shooter is like a celebrity status.
Yeah.
And it's fucking sick. And unfortunately, we gave it to him because he got a story out. He got all his Instagram pictures out for everybody to see, and it's just like so fucking. I don't even know. It's really depressing. It sucks. It sucks for me to look at like pictures of the kids that died, and
it's very depressing.
It's so sad. I mean,
and
I feel for them. And their parents.
You have a niece. I have a bunch of nephews and nieces. People listening to this show have children. It's scary that you're thinking, am I sending my kid into a war zone to go to school?
I mean,
that is a problem.
I mean, I do think now, like, every school has to have, like, policemen on the premise at all times. I had to go.
But that's the solution.
I know it's not a solution, but it's a Band-Aid. I had to. My sister called me one morning. She's like, my niece's name is Lucinda. She's like, Lucinda forgot her backpack or something like that. Will you Uber to the school? It was like 8 a.m, so I had to like wake up and like run out there. And
Did you wear the tank top?
No,
you should have showed up in the tank top.
But when I got there, they were like, the way I look, I'm all disheveled. It's the morning, They're like,
they're saying you look like a school shooter.
No, I'm not gonna say that, but it was just like, okay. But one of the parents that I knew, like, that's a friend of my niece's, like their kids' friends, he was like, hey, Matty, how you doing? So then they were like, oh, come on in and stuff. But, like, they have a lot of security where she goes to school. And, I think, unfortunately for all the schools, it's just going to have to be that way. It's a Band-Aid, but it's a start.
But again, parents should not be scared to send their children to school.
They shouldn't.
Teachers should not be scared to go teach children. This is a problem. And again, I think it's threefold for me. It's threefold. Again, this isn't a solution. This is just some ideas.
Yeah.
We don't need semi-automatic weapons. I just don't know why you need that. Even if you're a big gun nut, I just don't know why you need that. Even if you're a big gun nut, ask yourself, why do I need this massive weapon? Why do I need this?
You're also like holding something that has the potential, like,
to kill.
It's got blood on its hands in the sense of like what you have in your hand killed 20 innocent high school students.
And I have family members who own some of these things.
Yeah.
And I say the same thing to them.
And what's their answer?
It's just bullshit. It's security. It's bullshit. You don't need an M16 in your house. You just don't need it. It's ridiculous.
I mean, how many times do people break in too?
And like, have a handgun.
Like, I get, like, you have the right to, like, be secure in your house, but, like, how many times? Like, like, maybe once in your life somebody's going to break in your house. Maybe once. And probably they're going to figure out that you're not. Like, this neighborhood here, when break-ins happen? In the daytime. Because that's when people are at work.
Yeah.
And nobody wants, like, confrontation. They're just there to, like, do a quick job and get out.
Well, that's the thing. It's, like I said, here's the Andy Ruther. What the fuck do I know? Yeah. But these are just my 3 recommendations to maybe start in changing the process. 1, we don't need all these crazy weapons. We don't need these semi-automatic weapons. 2, again, look who you're voting for, people. To me, that's the thing. Get lobbyists out of politics.
That's never going to happen.
And that's where we're screwed. Yeah. This archaic system, it's antiquated. This 2-party system. We have 2 parties. We have 2 parties in this country who really aren't even that different, and they're both owned. They are the. You know what I love about podcasting is that I'm not owned by anybody.
I love it.
I can say whatever the fuck I want.
I know. I like it too, much more than stand up.
I can be raw. I can be uncensored. Like I said, there maybe might be certain restrictions if I'm reading an ad, but that's different. My point is, I can do what I want. These politicians can't. They are literally the bitches of lobbyists, one of which is the biggest lobby, NRA. So that is a problem. Well, that needs to be just eradicated, but it won't be. Because you know why? Because everyone listening ends up voting for these schmucks. You end up voting for these whores to corporate.
We have to. This is as simple as it is. Politics equals business. Yes. It is a business. It is a business. It is a profitable business, and that's what it is. If you're in it, you're probably in it for some sort of like profit. Like it's a business.
And the last part is the mental health issue. Nobody really talks about that. Why are people in this country, children in this country, shooting up schools and wanting to do this when they don't do it in other countries? Now, a quick, easy answer to that would be, well, they have easier access to guns here, which is for sure a fact.
And like we said, the media, like it is like everybody wants their little 15 minutes of fame.
Anyway, it's depressing.
It's really depressing.
But I don't know. Like I said, I'm very animated. You guys can probably hear it in my voice, and I'm worked up because I just don't know this easy solution. We're presenting all these different scenarios, and everybody wants to post an Instagram post. March for our lives. That's cool. I'm not against that. Do the march. I'm all for that. But what solution is that to children just shooting up schools?
Well, my other thing, too, that annoys the hell out of me on Twitter is after these things happen, there's always these people that, like, tweet, like, see, I told you it was blah, blah, blah. Like, look at it, like, creepy white kid. So, like, the liberals, it's always the creepy white kid. And then the conservatives, it's always like, see, I told you, Muslims, I told you that, our borders have to be shut down.
Yes.
And they're so, like, proud and excited to, like, prove their point and be like, my team, like, is not responsible for this. Like, I'm so glad my team is not. And it's like, you're not helping anybody. It's like you're gloating over this awful thing.
That is a great point, Matty.
And it's so, like, it's like, take a step back and, like, think about the families. And, like, but people are just so aggressive now to be like.
Well, they're idiots. And again, I'm a big fan of Joe Rogan. Your nose is running, buddy.
Yeah, I'm a little under the weather.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm a big fan of Joe Rogan, and he always uses the term tribalism. And that's the best part. It's you're a basic, simple-minded, tribal human being. If a school shooting happens and you say, oh, it's just a gun issue. Oh, crazy white guy. Or if a Muslim guy shoots up a marketplace and you're like, yep, it's Muslims again. You're being a basic tribal bitch.
Yeah.
To steal from Rogan because you're just associating everything with one thing instead of like what Matty's saying to try to analyze like we're doing today this multifaceted issue that is a problem from so many different aspects. It just is. It's not a fucking, like I said, one magic wand fix all. I'm just going to wave it. It's a fucking complex issue.
And again, I have no answers. I have no solutions or anything, but it's like it's no time to like prove your point of what your team or what your ideals are
But
about.
why are you on a team? That's the problem. I'm team Democrat. I'm team Republican.
Like,
I'm team Muslim. I'm team white person. Why are you joining a team? We're all humans.
Like
that's all. That's the point, right?
Yeah.
We're all human beings. Stop trying to join a fucking team.
Yeah, well, that's the way the world goes, unfortunately. Should we talk about happier stuff?
Yes. I'm glad I got that out, though, Matty. It's therapeutic.
You did. You were like debating whether you wanted to talk about that because it was going to work you up, but you got it out.
But I'm not mad. I think you could tell. I'm just trying to feel these issues and these complex things out. Do you need a Kleenex?
No.
I literally
unless you can't look at me.
It's tough to look at because I see snot. Here, I'll hold the mic. I see snot. Matty's getting out of the camera frame. I see snot just going down his nose, and he's just letting it sit there. And you know when you have like a 5-year-old? We all have a 5-year-old we know. A nephew, niece, child, cousin. He's got the snot just dripping. Like when I used to be a nanny, I watched a 6-year-old. Adorable 6-year-old kid who was in kindergarten. When I would see his nose was runny, I would, of course, grab a Kleenex for him. That's kind of what it looks like on Matty. Where did you handle it? What is going on upstairs?
We have a new dog upstairs.
Dear God.
Yeah, Lolo. Cute little dachshund.
Doesn't sound cute at all. It sounds like it's ready to shoot up a school right now.
Yeah. I don't know why it should calm down in a sec. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather, and I probably shouldn't be wearing this tank top, and it's the coldest day in L.A., so.
How cold do you think it is?
55.
I'm going to look it up. It's very chilly for L.A.
I'm freezing right now. I feel like I'm in the frozen tundra.
Freezing cold.